Hey guys, it's Jan, Not a Real Farm. Out early morning, let the dogs out, and do you see what I see? Frost. So yesterday's video, we were digging out potatoes and getting them out of the ground before frost. Wasn't necessarily sure if it was going to happen, but it did. So they were pretty close in their prediction. They said frost by October 1st. Today is September 26th. So we have a nice kiss of frost. And I suspect everything in the front garden is probably gone as well. But we pretty much got everything we needed out yesterday, so let's take a look. All right, let's get in here, but I can already see the front garden is done. Strawberries can take a little bit of frost, but you can see here they've got frost all over them. I was crossing my fingers, guys, that we weren't going to get the frost. But we did. And it's unfortunate because I still had a few things in here that really wanted to get going. My calendula, which I love very much, has a kiss of frost on it, but it's actually kind of pretty, but we'll see how it does. Blackberries, those all have frost on them. We'll see what happens with those. They're usually pretty hardy, but guys, we'll see. Beans or toast? The beans got kissed last night with the frost, so these guys will definitely be done. So we're going to be pulling those out this week because I'm definitely not going to get a crop of anything out of that. Going to take a look at the seeds. The seed pods were drying. The seed inside might be okay, but we won't get any more. This is my pumpkin plant, so you can see here all the frost that's got to the leaves here. Wow. It is a really short grow season here, guys. So when I say I only have sometimes 3 months outside, it's the truth. By the time you get stuff growing here and really taking hold, a lot of the times you're really worried about an early frost. And this year we got a way earlier frost than we did from last year. These beans are toast. So I planted these contenders. You can see that they were flowering and getting ready to give me some beans, but they're going to be toast now. So we're just going to pull them out. I usually use this as a gauge too. Once the first frost hits, this is where I start planting my garlic seed. Way inside there is a bee. He doesn't look so happy this morning. Can you see him? There we go. Doesn't look so happy. My baby corn, of course, is here. Now, we were drying this down for seed, the baby corn. We'll see how it does. Oh yeah, you can definitely see all the damage on the bean leaves here. Now, these are a bean from Italy that I have. They're called a Nona blue bean, and you can either eat them as a snap bean or you can eat them as a dry bean, and they're sort of like a sapphire blue, which they're really cool. However, you know, with all this frost, they were just starting to sort of fill out the pods. You can see here, I actually collected quite a bit of them yesterday, the ones that were ready. Now, they do become more sapphire when they're kissed with cold. So we'll just have to be patient and see what happens this week with them once everything thaws. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's about 7 degrees Celsius here. I don't have my conversion table for Fahrenheit, but that's pretty chilly inside the greenhouse, but everything is doing really good. So I apologize, it's still a little dark this morning, guys, but you can see here the potatoes were actually starting to flower in here. They look great. There's no diseases or holes. It hasn't really gotten bit by the frost, so this is good. Starting to flower over here. My cantaloupe is still growing. It's actually a whole lot bigger than what I showed you about a week ago, so it's growing great. Now we have been in here, I've been cleaning out plants and sort of making room for, you know, cleaning up for the fall, cleaning up for the winter. But we're still getting a ton of tomatoes. And there's still plenty of tomatoes developing, you can see here. And I guess, guys, that's really the importance of a greenhouse too, is you really can't grow as long, especially in this zone, and lower if you don't have a greenhouse. It just won't work. Here's my Amish pastes. Time to pluck these off now for sure. Going to be saving some of the seed on these. And then going through, we still have lots of grape tomatoes. We have this sweetheart cherry tomato that just keeps, it's prolific, let's put it that way. This thing gives me cherry tomatoes constantly and in big clusters like this. So there's no rush to actually harvest the red ones right away. They will stay holding onto the vine, no problem, until all of these are grown. And then you can just take them off by the cluster. They're really good. I've got a lot down here too, look at this. And here are my Primarks. So they've put on a lot of new greenery, but now you can see that they've got the flower bud. And I suspect because it's warmer in here, this is where we'll get the developing of fruit. We have a lot of fruit outside, but now that it's been, hit with the frost, I'm not sure we're gonna get them now, so. And these are my black Hungarian peppers, guys. Oh my goodness, I just have so many of these. This plant is so prolific. I mean, how much hot sauce can you really make? Look at all of this. Now, progressively, because it's cooling down, you'll see them slow down, but I've got 3 plants here and they're all full. And some over here. It's just like trees and trees of hot peppers. And they do a little well too with neglect. You know, you plant them, you water them, every couple of days and they're happy. You can even see here they were still trying to put on peppers. So very easy to look after. And they will reward you with a lot of peppers. Some of these I'm just going to save the seed from because I just will not get the opportunity to make all that hot sauce. And here is my beautiful toothache plant. This is very prolific. It self-seeds. You can also save the seed from it as well, but you bite into this, it kind of gives you sort of a tingly feeling, but what it'll also do is it will freeze your tooth, hence the toothache plant. Basically what it'll do is it'll freeze anything that has pain or anything in your mouth, so a lot of people use that if they get a toothache. And a lot of people actually take these and put them in a drink because it gives the drink a little zing. So very cool plant, all kinds of different uses, and the bees love them. Of course, we've got our basil just flowering and drying. So what we can do here is now they're starting to go into seed mode. So we'll be able to collect a lot of these seeds and take them out of the plant. As you can see, a lot of it is starting to drop. Then we have our beautiful butternut rugosa. This is doing amazing. This is one of the biggest butternuts I've ever grown. And it's almost ready. I'm gonna leave it on the vine till Thanksgiving. And then we'll be able to have very fresh butternut squash for dinner. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I have one there. One that's actually just developing, really late. And then we have another one here that's almost completely done. You can tell that it's almost ready because the vine is turning the same color as the squash. So it's dying down. And I'm not really sure if this is going to show through the camera, but it's starting to lose a lot of its green striping that you normally would see. It's beautiful. It's a very beautiful butternut. And then, of course, over here, I've actually already harvested my Mexican huckleberry plant 4 times over, and it's still giving me berries. So yesterday what I did was I took them, I mashed them, and I'm saving the seed from these. I planted this in April, okay, and this just keeps giving berries over and over and over. I suspect it probably won't die until it gets very, very cold in here. It's still putting on new flowers. You can see there. I've never had a plant like this one before that absolutely just keeps giving you berries all summer long that you can just come in and eat. Look at the size of these berries over here. So we will definitely be keeping the seeds from these, and I'll probably grow a few more. This was just an experiment to see if it would grow for me, and boy, did it ever. Look at all the flowers on this starting to open up. Isn't that something? And then down here we have one lonely old blue pumpkin. So he's almost ready, but not quite. I just need this to turn a little bit more brown before he's ready to harvest, but pretty cool. Definitely something to look forward to. He'll have bright orange flesh, but it's just funny that it's the only one pumpkin that actually grew. So the other cool plant I wanted to show you guys that actually grew this year was sea buckthorn. Sea buckthorn kind of resembles, if you look really closely, rosemary, except for the little silver that it's got on its leaves. And this is a tree that can grow in the zone. And it gives you those nice orange berries that you kind of see that, you know, when you go in the grocery store, the prices are jacked up for the berries because they're one of the highest antioxidant berries that you can get out there, and they're very healthy for you. So we decided that we were going to try and grow these, and they just took off. So we'll be transplanting these before the winter and then planting them out because they can actually survive in our zone. So it was pretty cool. They actually grew. So all in all, guys, everything is going pretty good so far in the greenhouse. Nothing got kissed in here by the frost, which we're very fortunate. Usually in here I can grow a little bit longer, usually about 1.5 months to 2 months longer after we get a frost. And that sometimes takes me into November, early December sometimes if I'm lucky. Probably not that lucky this year, but if I can grow into the middle of November, we're good to go. And I suspect I can do that with a lot of the cold hardy plants like I did last year. And then really you're you're not growing from December, January, and February, because at the end of February I start my starts all over again and we start this whole process again. Good times. Thanks very much for looking at the video today, guys, and joining me. Hope you have a wonderful day. Comments below, thumbs up if you like the video, and see you soon.